Hi everyone, this is the second in a series of videos on unit conversions, and in this one we're going to focus on a technique we borrow from science called dimensional analysis. A common situation is when you have to convert money, and when you're converting money, say you're going to travel to Europe, you have a conversion factor. In this case, I'm telling you that $1, which is essentially the conversion factor for today, equals 0.9174312 euros. Now, to convert from dollars to euros, dimensional analysis says that what we're going to do is actually multiply what we want to convert. We want to convert from dollars to euros by a factor of 1. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to use our conversion factor. So, we know that we have $250 as a fraction over 1. Now, we want to convert from dollars to euros. So our conversion factor is $1 is 0.9174312 euros. So we want to cancel our dollars rather. So we're going to have $1 on the bottom of our fraction. Okay, because a dollar on the top over a dollar on the bottom, the dollars will cancel. Think of the unit just like you would an algebraic variable. Now, $1 is equivalent to 0.9174312 euros. Okay, so just E. Now, essentially all I've done is I've multiplied the $250 by 1, because this fraction is equivalent to 1. 0.9174312 euros is equal to $1. Now, let's do the algebra here. This is what I like about this technique. It gets kids thinking algebraically. You have $1 on the top and a dollar on the bottom, so those will cancel. Now multiply the fractions. What you're left with is 250 times 0.9174312. On the bottom, if I just focus on the numbers, I've got 1 times 1. And now let's focus on our units. The dollars were canceled, so I'm left with is 1 euro. When you do that multiplication, you get 229.3578 euros. All right, suppose we had the same question. We want to convert dollars to euros, but instead of giving us that $1 is equivalent to so many euros, maybe you're coming back and you want to convert dollars to euros, and you're going from one country to another. 1 euro is equivalent to $1.08999. So again, all we have to do is multiply this value we want to convert, $250, by a fraction equivalent to 1. Again, I want my dollars to be on the bottom because I want to cancel my dollars. So $1.08999 is equivalent to 1 euro. Now multiply the fractions, but first let's cancel our units. $1, $1. Okay, we cancel the dollar. Again, just treat it like an algebraic expression. So what am I left with when I multiply these fractions? I've got 250 times 1 euro divided by 1 times 1.089999. So that will give me 250 times 1 divided by 1.089999, and that's euros, and that equals 229.3578 euros again. So notice, didn't matter how I converted, which factor I used, I came up with the same value. Now let's check this again, use this technique to convert metrically. So using the metric system, these are conversions that I actually went through in a previous video. And we're going to check our work using dimensional analysis. Now, when I do dimensional analysis with this, I always use as a conversion factor, I go from large to small. In this first problem, I want to convert from kilometers to centimeters. So let's figure out 1 kilometer is 1 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. So 1 kilometer is equal to 10 to the 5th, or, because it's times 10 for each step, 10 to the 5th, which equals 100,000 centimeters. So let's set up that conversion. Again, multiply 3 kilometers, what you want to convert, and we'll make it a fraction, and by the conversion factor, which is going to be 1 again. Now we have a kilometer on the top, which means we want a kilometer on the bottom to cancel. So 1 kilometer is equal to 100,000 centimeters. Again, this conversion factor just is equal to 1. So this focus on our units, a kilometer on the top cancels with a kilometer on the bottom, and I'm left with 3 times 100,000, or 300,000, over 1 times 1, which is just 1 centimeter. That's the only unit that's left. So that's 300,000 centimeters. From milliliters to hectoliters for our second problem, let me convert to a red pen. Let's figure up again how many hectoliters. What's the sort of the equivalence there? 1 hectoliter is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I always use the large to small conversion. 1 hectoliter is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps, 10 to the 5th, which is equal to, again, 100,000 milliliters. So let's multiply what we want to convert, 25 milliliters, by the conversion factor. Milliliters are on the top, so I want to put my milliliters on the bottom to cancel that unit. 100,000 milliliters is equivalent to 1 hectoliter. Cancel my units, 1 milliliter, and what I have left is 25 times 1, which is 25, over 1 times 100,000, 100,000. The unit that we have left is hectoliters, so that is equal to 0.00025 hectoliters. And you can check our previous video and make sure that I'm right here. A couple more conversions. Let's convert. Just look at, say, moving from, these are baker's units. Let's say I have so many cups. Say I have maybe 8 cups. 8 cups. And I want to convert 8 cups to, let's say, gallons. All right, cups to gallons. Now let's figure out, there's no cup to gallon conversion, so I'll have to go through some steps. I'll go from cups to pints, pints to quarts, and then quarts to gallons. And notice these conversions. 1 cup is equal to 8 ounces. 1 pint is equal to 2 cups. 1 quart is equal to 2 pints. And 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts. So it looks like I'll need a few steps here. Okay, excuse me, 1 pint is, yeah, there you go. I don't know if I said, I don't know why I got ounces involved, but they shouldn't be here. Cups to pints, pints to quarts, and quarts to gallons. I'll need 3 steps. So, first of all, I want to convert my cups, and I'm going to convert my cups to pints, step 1. 1 pint is equivalent to 2 cups. So, what I'm going to do is set up an equivalence. I want my cups on my bottom because I want to cancel my cups. 2 cups is equivalent to 1 pint. Now that would convert from cups to pints. Next step is I want to convert from pints to quarts. Okay, 1 quart is equal to 2 pints. So I have a pint on the top in this middle fraction. So I want a pint on the bottom. Okay, so 1 quart, 2 pints. So 2 pints is equivalent to 1 quart. Lastly, I want to convert from quarts to gallons for step 3. Quarts to gallons. Again, I've got a quart on the top in this second fraction. So I want quarts on the bottom. 4 quarts is equivalent to 1 gallon. Now let's convert all of those fractions. Let's look at our units first. A cup on the bottom, a cup on the top. There you go. Pint on the top, pint on the bottom. They cancel. Quart on the top, quart on the bottom. They cancel. Just like an X on the top and X on the bottom, the X's cancel. And what I'm left with is 8 times 1 times 1 times 1, which is just 8. The only unit I have left is gallons. And what I have on the bottom is 1 times 2 times 2, which is 4, times 4, which is 16. So 16. And there's no unit because all the units cancel on the bottom. 8 over 16, which is equal to 1/2 or 0.5 gallon. So 8 cups is equivalent to 1/2 a gallon. One last problem in conversions. Let's convert this in honor of the fact that we live in Kentucky, at least I am now. Let's convert 9 yards to furlongs, furlongs being the measure of a horse race. Okay, let's think. There's no yards to furlongs conversion, but I do have a couple things that will be helpful here. I can go from yards to feet. That would be the first one. I'm going to use this one right here. And then I'm going to go from feet to furlongs. I don't know the abbreviation for furlongs, so I'll just write it out. Furlongs. Okay, so that's my strategy. Yards to feet first. So 1 yard is equivalent to 3 feet. Let's set up a fraction. Multiply what we want to convert by essentially 1. I want to get yards on the bottom because I want to cancel my yards. Yards on the bottom, 1 yard. And that is equivalent to 3 feet. Now I want to convert from feet to furlongs. Okay, since I have feet on the top of this second fraction, I'm going to have feet on the bottom. So I have 660 feet on the bottom is equivalent to 1 furlong. Now let's do this multiplication, but before I do that, let's cancel our units. A yard on the top cancels with a yard on the bottom. A feet on the top cancels with a feet on the bottom. And what I'm left with, multiplying the fractions, 9 times 3 times 1, which is 27, divided by 1 times 660. I'm just multiplying fractions. So 660. The only unit I have left is furlongs. So let's convert that. 27, let's do that division. 27 divided by 660 is equal to 0.40909 repeating. So 0.0409 repeating furlongs.